Sonic Heroes came out in 2003. After the Dreamcast, just kind of stopped being a thing, everyone kind of wondered what would happen with Sonic the Hedgehog. 2001 saw the release of Sonic Adventure 2, but no one knew how Sega would handle the series now that Sega had gone to other consoles. It's pretty sad to say, though, that Sonic the Hedgehog essentially went down the toilet. Straight down, garbage-ass game followed up by garbage-ass game, and it never ended. Looking back at the reviews for Sonic Heroes, it's kind of hilarious. The big thing was the camera. That was everyone's big problem. Let me tell you this. The camera is the least of this game's problems, and I will go into all of them. There are so many. Sega has this odd thing with Sonic where they seriously attempt to innovate. Like, kudos to Sega, they're actually trying something different with each title that comes out. It's not just the next Call of Duty. Each game is supposed to be a memorable, unique gameplay experience. Sega has said themselves that they want each game to stand out on its own, so that later on down the line, it's not like the fan base is going to be confused over what the fifth 3D title was versus the sixth 3D title and like which game was which. Sega has surprisingly kind of succeeded in this too, but in the worst way. You have Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, the weird team game, yeah, that's this one, that Shadow the Hedgehog shitfest, that next-gen reboot abortion, the thing with the fucking werehog, and then miraculously a good game which came out on the Wii. No one understood it. And I'm not even going to get into the Wii U games or any of the classic side-scrolling games, which are hit or miss. So here is the weird team game. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles travel as a pack. You got 3 of them on screen at all times. You switch control between the 3 at will. You press a button in order to do that. In terms of hit collision with enemies and falling off the screen, only the character you're actually controlling at that moment matters. Everyone else can go kill themselves, it really only matters who you're specifically controlling at that point in time. When you need to run fast or do a light speed dash, go with Sonic. When you need to fly, press the character switch button to switch to Tails. When you need to punch things, switch on over to Knuckles. There's a few other selectable character teams, and the entire C roster of Sonic characters are representing strong. They all kind of play the same, but they do get different story sequences and have modified levels and difficulty. For the sake of not blowing my Sonic load all over the wall, I'm just going to stick to talking about the main 3. The story is bananas, as per usual, and I can't even bring myself to attempt to care about whatever they were babbling about. I'm pretty sure it was nothing. Eggman is up to some shit, Shadow gets revived again because Sega needs money, and a whole bunch of jerks want Sonic dead. Sonic games excel when you're playing as Sonic. As I've said in many other reviews, the idea is quite ingenious, even when taken to the 3D platformer. There's really nothing else like it. Flying through stages at lightning speed captures the essence of a racing game, but with characters and mixed styles of gameplay that help set the title apart and really put a personality behind the experience. When done right, it is fantastic. Sonic Heroes has small glimpses, but they fade out far too quickly for it to really count. So, Sonic gameplay, the main staple of the excitement. The levels are designed for it. Most Sonic games are, even when they have other characters. Tails and Knuckles, say here in Sonic Heroes, who lack the speedy Sonic shoes, and storyline-wise I don't think are even capable of running fast, still get to run fast, as they always do in these games, essentially copying Sonic's main qualities because Sega knows that that's what we all came for. I think they do, at least. That's what Sonic Heroes does, but it has so much other junk too. Tails. I get it. He can fly. They limit his flying ability though, so you don't just fly to the end of the stage instantly winning. And I'm cool with that. It makes sense. But then what do you do with a flying character? If you're Sonic Heroes, you wedge in these small, dopey little sections where the action comes to a complete halt. Sonic runs into a wall or something, there's a sign telling you to fly, and then you switch over to Tails and fly over a gap. Wow. The flying doesn't really take much skilled gameplay, it's just a thing to do to justify the concept of Sonic Heroes. So, in other Sonic the Hedgehog titles, Sonic gets to take out enemies just fine on his own. He jumps into the air, uses a homing attack, and destroys whatever's in his path. And it's pretty damn awesome. I really enjoy doing that in games where it's done well. Notice what I'm saying there? Here, though, we have a power character. That power character is not Sonic. Sonic's homing attack can't do shit. Now, when you need to take out enemies, you have to switch over to Knuckles, so you can start punching things with really shitty gameplay. It's a waste of time, and it's not fun. Most stages follow the flow of a fast, cool running part, some actual Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay that hints at being fun, and then you get slammed into a wall, and then the fun stops. Then you have to kill whatever enemies are around you with the annoying ass gameplay. It is not that fun. Halfway through the game, you start to have to switch to Tails because he has this stun attack and can kind of hit enemies that are higher up. And so you have to switch over to Tails, use the stun attack, switch over to Knuckles, punch things, and then go back and forth until everything's finally dead. But like I said, the gameplay isn't actually fun, doesn't take much skill, and it's not what you came for. It's not very good. It's just crappy combat in a Sonic game. So, finally, the camera, which I kind of talked about before. It's mediocre. A lot of the reviews, like I said, kind of slammed the camera as if that was the biggest issue this game had, but it's really not. I don't know what the hell people were thinking back then, but the main problem is that this game is built like shit. The majority of the times I died whenever I played this game was due to basically the stage not working properly. Actually, falling through the level, or falling off of a loop when the computer is supposed to be taking control of my character. Then of course there's not getting appropriately flung to the new area, coming up short and dying. Also, having the character get caught on some weird geometry change where maybe there was rock and now Sonic is moving on to grass, and it's supposed to be just a smooth running experience from one to the other, but because there's some weird terrain change and the game is fucking built like shit, Sonic just gets hooked on the terrain change and flings his ass off the level. That happened more times than I can count. It sucked. This game just turns into dopey memorization of how to react to poorly programmed bullshit. It's really not that fun. So yeah, there's pieces and elements I like about this game. There are pieces and elements I like about all of the Sonic games that I hate. And keep in mind that there are some Sonic games that I actually love. This one, though, is a mess. Other Sonic games are far worse, don't get me wrong. So I think this one just kind of gets overlooked and no one remembers it, but that doesn't mean that it isn't riddled with issues. Sonic Heroes gets a 3 out of 10.